This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Evacuation order lifted a day after a wildfire forced them to flee. Residents near Austria Lake are allowed to return home.
Pushing back, Nova Scotia Power is challenging a $10 million penalty for not meeting renewable energy targets.
And illegal dumping. A scenic spot in Cape Breton is littered with trash.
Hot and very humid for Tuesday, but it won't last long as a cold front brings showers and thunderstorms and some relief for Wednesday. Your full forecast is coming up.
All evacuation orders have now been lifted for the homes that were evacuated in a wildfire on Nova Scotia's eastern shore over the weekend.
The wildfire near Austria Lake did not grow in the last 24 hours and remains 30 hectares in size. On Sunday, the fire forced the evacuation of 100 homes in the area as fire crews dealt with dry conditions and strong winds. But some rain overnight and cooler conditions this morning brought some relief. There were no reports of any damage to structures.
Teams were back in the wildfire zone today, tackling hotspots. The Eastern Shore Community Centre in Musquodoboit Harbour opened as a comfort centre for those displaced residents. That has now closed. Scott Tingley, manager of forest protection with the Department of Natural Resources, says about 20 DNR firefighters are involved.
Crews are making significant progress. They've been on site since 7 a.m. This morning. They'll likely continue until dusk this evening. And they have the fire currently at what we call a being held status. And they're just going to continue to put out any hot spots they're finding along the perimeter or the edge of the fire. And then they're going to start working towards the center of the fire and just working towards fully extinguishing it.
The cause of the fire is not yet known. Conservation officers were on site today to work on the investigation.
Weather always playing a role in these kinds of things. Ryan Snoddon with us now from the Weather Centre.
Yes, they must have been grateful for the rain on Sunday.
Yeah, that's right. And it wasn't lasting wasn't lasting very long. Could have lasted longer, but every little drop helps, of course. Tom and Amy, thanks so much. As we look at the burn ban in place, just a reminder, it is in place and no burning at all right now. And of course, tomorrow we're watching the heat, the humidity building in. Look at these temperatures. These are before you factor in the humidity. Mid-30s widespread through the Great Lakes into the Northeast U.S. And this is the air mass that's on its way for us, and the dew point feeling very tropical. Anything above 20 is really feeling tropical, and indeed that's what we've got on tap beginning tomorrow. And so your temperatures are going to be widespread, high 20s, low 30s. Right along the coastlines, we will feel a little bit of relief in that onshore southwesterly flow, and we're going to feel some relief coming in the form of this cold front, bringing some showers and a risk for thunderstorms Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday evening, but won't really feel the relief from the mugginess until Wednesday. We'll explain that in full detail with your 7-day coming up.
All right, lots to talk about.
Ryan.
Thanks so much, Ryan.
Thank you.
A 3-year-old boy was killed Friday evening after being struck by a vehicle while crossing a street in Bedford. Police say the incident happened around 7:50 p.m. in the residential area of Brownstone Way when Maverick Brown was playing soccer in his backyard. The soccer ball was kicked into the parking area nearby when a large truck with a trailer happened to be passing by. The boy was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. No charges have been laid.
2 people were sent to hospital for smoke inhalation following a house fire in White Rock caused by a charging e-bike. The Greenwich Fire Department says the charging e-bike was in the basement when it went into thermal runaway, causing a fire that spread into the ceiling. One of the occupants heard the bike battery exploding and went to the basement where they located and removed the burning e-bike from the home. 2 people had to go to hospital after inhaling smoke from the incident.
Nova Scotia Power is challenging a multi-million-dollar penalty imposed by the province. It was levied because the utility failed to meet renewable energy targets. The case is being heard by the Energy Board this week. Taryn Grant is following along and brings us this report.
Nova Scotia Power is facing a $10 million fine for falling short on renewable energy targets, but the utility is arguing that it should not have to pay. The Nova Scotia Energy Board is convening this week in downtown Halifax to hear the case. The utility was supposed to be generating 40% of its electricity from renewable sources by 2020. It missed that deadline. The province extended it to the end of 2022, but it missed that deadline too. So Nova Scotia's energy minister imposed the maximum fine that's allowed under the law. The utility immediately appealed, and now it's getting its chance to argue why the penalty should be struck down. Nova Scotia Power says it honestly believed it would hit the target until it was too late. It was counting on hydroelectricity from Muskrat Falls, but that project was significantly delayed. The province says Nova Scotia Power should have had a backup plan. It says the penalty is the only mechanism it has for encouraging compliance. Nova Scotia's challenges with getting onto renewable energy reflect what's happening globally, as many jurisdictions try to get off fossil fuels.
The energy transition is not a linear process. It's up and down. There's obstacles that are going to come in the way. Some are going to be technical. Some of them are just going to be the nature of such a large change in a major industry.
The hearing is expected to last several days. The board could decide to enforce the fine, drop it, reduce it, or send it back to the energy minister to reconsider. Taryn Grant, CBC News, Halifax.
Nova Scotia's NDP leader says that if Premier Tim Houston isn't interested in talking with the public before making decisions, she will. Claudia Chender and her team are planning a series of town hall meetings across the province. Today, she drew the attention of the Premier's promotion of natural resource development and the fact that Houston is pushing back against municipal leaders who are calling for more dialogue.
This is not the way to run a province. This is the way to be a bully. If he wants to engage, he should engage. If he thinks his ideas are good and valuable for Nova Scotians, he should not be afraid to socialize them and let Nova Scotians in on the secret, particularly municipal leaders and First Nations who must be consulted and engaged before these plans go forward.
The town hall series kicks off Wednesday in Wolfville.
The scenic spot along the Trans-Canada Highway in Cape Breton is getting a lot of attention, but for the wrong reasons lately. Kelly's Mountain has been littered with trash and a site for illegal dumping. Kyle Moore has the story.
The scenery is as pretty as a picture, but when you look down, the beauty is gone. St. Anne's Look-Off on Kelly's Mountain has been a hot spot for illegal dumping.
I was surprised at the volume and the items that were there. Like, there were tires and empty paint cans, and I was told there were even washers and dryers.
These pictures are from a local group of volunteers who took it upon themselves to clean up the area, but still a lot of trash remains. Victoria County has been looking into possible solutions.
Education, possibly the use of cameras. I don't know if that would be effective or not. And just awareness campaign, I guess.
Unfortunately, that's a situation that we never want to see in terms of a tourism destination.
The CEO of Destination Cape Breton says Kelly's Mountain is a popular spot for tourists to stop and take pictures, especially during the height of summer or when the leaves change color in the fall, and says the mountain is also a sacred spot for the Mi'kmaq.
I don't know if a lot of people know, but Kelly's Mountain, to the Mi'kmaq people, it's called Mugalagadi. It's a sacred space. It's the place where it's the final resting place of Bluescap.
Patterson says both municipalities on the island offer weekly garbage pickups and hold annual heavy garbage cleanup programs. He feels some people are taking advantage of such a remote area.
I can imagine the people who are throwing things over the look-offs are doing it at night probably. They're just pulling in, dumping what they have to dump, and then taking off. So I don't know what we can do to prevent that.
The Nova Scotia government recently put up no littering signs in the area, but that has not stopped the problem. Kyle Moore, CBC News on Kelly's Mountain.
Northumberland Ferry says it has to cancel some sailings between Nova Scotia and PEI this week because of unusually low tides. Starting tomorrow until the 28th, the company says that it will also be limiting vehicle capacity on some sailings and canceling others altogether. Passengers are urged to book their tickets in advance as space for standby travelers will be limited. The ferry route is currently serviced by two ships, the MV Confederation and the MV Northumberland. This is the first season for the MV Northumberland.
Saturday marked National Indigenous Peoples Day. Events were held across the country, including here in Nova Scotia. In Cape Breton, some marked the day bright and early with a Mi'kmaq sunrise ceremony. The CBC's Anna Rack has that story.
Although it was the first full day of summer, it was cold and windy outside the historic Louisbourg Lighthouse. Still, people woke up before dawn to participate in the sunrise ceremony.
It's a special time to be quiet, I guess, and just listen to nature and speak to Creator from your heart. And as the sun comes up, that's what I've learned, that you see the creation of Creator. Everything is so beautiful, and it's like almost new again. And even like, that's where you get the hope and the will to go on.
The sunrise ceremony was held to mark National Indigenous Peoples Day. Similar gatherings are happening across the country. Elder Lottie Johnson spoke about why it's special to her. She is a residential school survivor.
June 21st was Freedom Day, what they called it. That was the day you get to go home for the summer. But not all the kids went home. Some of them had no places to go, so they stayed.
Filming during the ceremony was prohibited, but it consisted of drumming, prayers, and smudging. The sunrise ceremony was organized by the Public Service Alliance of Canada, along with the Eskasoni Teachers Union.
It's a really important aspect of truth and reconciliation. It's not just a checkbox. It's something we need to do. All the settlers, colonizers, Mi'kmaq, non-Mi'kmaq, visitors, and this is something that's really, really important to me, and it's important to our local, and it's important to the Public Service Alliance of Canada.
The ceremony was welcoming to everyone, Indigenous or non-Indigenous.
The sunrise isn't just for Native people, it's for everybody, and depends on, that's what I say, whatever way you pray, that's the way you pray. There's no special prayers, I guess, but you speak from your heart.
After the ceremony, the clouds cleared up and the sun finally came out. Anna Rack, CBC News, Louisbourg.
Turned out to be a nice day.
Beautiful.
A group of hikers in Halifax got a crash course this weekend on how to best support blind and partially sighted people on the trail.
Organizers say it's important to break down barriers so people of all abilities can enjoy outdoor spaces and activities. Have a look.
What we're going to do today is we're running this Hiking Buddies workshop. So we're going to teach sighted people on how to guide people who are blind or partially sighted on the trail or just in the street, on a regular basis. I'm going to try and hopefully break some myths that people might have about people who are blind and partially sighted. I don't see anything at all. Okay. My eyes are actually fake. I love being outdoors. I'm an avid outdoors person. I'd like to be even more so. And I know of a lot of my friends and colleagues who love being outdoors, and the problem with getting out to places like this, like in Fleming Park, where we are today, is transportation. So, we're kind of begging and pleading for someone to drive, or even if the bus can get us here, how are we going to find our way into the woods? And so I approached Hike Nova Scotia, and we've just been on a steady road journey to get this going, so I'm very excited.
Is everybody all blindfolded?
Yes. Okay. There's a lot of, I think, misconceptions and misunderstandings. People, you're blind. How are you going to do this? And how do you do that? I barbecue with a propane gas tank. I've gone skydiving. I love hiking and I don't really like swimming, but I partake in dragon boats over at Lake Bannock and, riding my tandem bike with obviously a sighted person in the front. And so people are, that's amazing. It's not really amazing. It's everything is extremely doable. We're able to do everything. Blind and partially sighted people raise families. We work. We cry. We suffer. We take care of our elderly parents. We do it all. We're just in a little bit of a different fashion.
Some visitors in Halifax Harbour Ryan's up next with the full weather forecast. Stay with us.
The weather update is brought to you by Tourisme Gaspésie. Plan your stay in Gaspésie at tourismegaspésie.com and enjoy extraordinary moments.
All right, we're going to be heading into the sauna here, hot and sticky in the forecast.
But it's not sticking around here as long as it is in other places, right?
Yeah, that's right. Ontario, Quebec, this is like a 2 to 3 day event, and that's why heat warnings are in place there. No heat warnings here, but if this was a 2-day event, it would be. So we're checking all of the boxes except for the duration of the event. So don't let that catch you off guard. It is definitely going to be warning level type heat for tomorrow, and the humidity again is going to be relentless. Tomorrow night is going to be a really uncomfortable sleep if you don't have air conditioning. Have a look at our webcam video rather, and you can see beautiful evening in Lunenburg.
Wouldn't that be nice to be on the waterfront there tonight?
This is the spot to be as we look ahead to tomorrow. Is going to be the coast. The Atlantic coast is going to be nice in those onshore winds. Get some relief if you're able to get to the coast. That's going to be the spot to be. As we look at the dew point values, they're starting to creep up, but still in that comfortable range, comfortable to noticeable at this point. But we are going to be looking at that dew point continuing to creep up into that oppressive range, and it'll be straight up tropical by this time tomorrow. We've got some showers along this warm front here, which is draped across Ontario and into Quebec and now pushing into northern New Brunswick. This will sweep in and clip the North Shore and Cape Breton late overnight, early tomorrow morning with a few showers. And then we're looking at this front here. This is what's going to be bringing the relief. But before the relief, the showers and the thunderstorms, and you can see where that cold front is right now. There's no mistaking. Temperatures just 12 in Edmonton, 17 Regina and Winnipeg, and you can see the widespread 30s in the heat dome that is underway and in place for the next couple days across the eastern parts of North America. Now, as we look at the forecast for tonight, very warm overnight lows. The humidity, again, creeping up overnight, but really kind of peaking throughout, or really kind of rising, I should say, throughout tomorrow morning and peaking tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. So there's the temperature, or the shower chances rather, and we'll time this out with your hour by hour. So you can see quiet overnight, some fog patches to start the day, and those showers along the North Shore and into Cape Breton for tomorrow morning. This is going to be our best chance, and so watch that even until to mid-morning. And then we're off to the races with lots of sunshine throughout the day, and the heat is on with that more muggy air in place. And there's the cold front rolling into first New Brunswick, Cumberland County, maybe by supper time in the valley in the northern parts of the province. And then as we move into the mid to late evening, note the timeline here, this is when we're expecting to see those lines of showers and storms working their way down towards the Atlantic coastline, and things will get active later on for the South Shore and Atlantic coast region. Temperatures across Cape Breton tomorrow, 26 to 29, 30, feeling into the mid to high 30s when you factor in the humidity, so it's going to feel very oppressive. From Antigonish at 33, back to the North Shore into Truro, inland Halifax County, places like Bedford and Sackville will likely be 28, 29, 30. I did put 24 in Halifax because right along the peninsula it should be some relief from those onshore winds. But here, this is where Humidex values are going to be near 40, right through here, the inland parts for the valley, back towards Kedzie, Bridgewater. It's going to be really, really warm, so do take caution and care. Look at the dew point values for tomorrow afternoon. Into the 20s for most. It is just going to be soupy. And there again, overnight Tuesday into Wednesday morning, dew point value is still very high. So it is going to be an uncomfortable sleep Tuesday night. Then through Wednesday into Wednesday afternoon, we're going to be seeing that relief. The wind shift to north, still warm on Wednesday, but noticeable drop in the humidity throughout the day. Thursday, even lower in terms of the humidity. Look at this muggy meter crashing down very dramatically throughout Wednesday and staying quiet in the summer sweet range towards the end of the week. Summer sweet range in terms of the humidity, maybe not so much. The temperature could be asking for a bit more for the weekend. We'll see what we can do over the next couple of days, but the heat certainly the headline over the next couple.
All right,
Yeah, sounds
you're
like
working
it.
on it. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Coming up, the Department of Natural Resources shares an update on the wildfire being held near Musquedombit Harbor. An evacuation order for the Austria Lake area has been lifted. A wildfire about 50 kilometers northeast of Halifax forced dozens of residents to leave their homes Sunday. Scott Tingley is manager of forest protection with the Department of Natural Resources. I guess first off, how much progress has been made on the fire since Sunday?
The original estimates came in at about 15 hectares for a size. So since then, crews are estimating the fire is about 30 hectares. It didn't grow overnight, so all the growth was yesterday. Crews are making significant progress. They've been on site since 7 a.m. This morning. They'll likely continue until dusk this evening. And they have the fire currently at what we call a being held status, and they're just going to continue to put out any hot spots they're finding along the perimeter or the edge of the fire, and then they're going to start working towards the center of the fire and just working towards fully extinguishing it.
Well, what are some of the challenges those crews have been facing?
There was a couple main challenges yesterday, particularly like the fire behavior was fairly intense. At the head of the fire, the front, we call it the head. So it was not practical for ground resources to do any direct attack or apply water to that front. So we relied on the DNR helicopter there to where the fire was more intense to drop water. And there's a fair bit of it's rugged terrain with some downed trees and stumps and things like that. So they've had to put a little bit of effort, significant effort, into to cutting lines through that debris, the trees and things like that. So they not only get their hose lines in and around the fire to get water on the hot spots, but also for their safety. If they ever had to get out either in an emergency or if someone got hurt, they need to have clear lines back to the roads in their trucks.
Now, how many people have been called in to fight the fire?
We had, there was multiple stations from Halifax Fire and Emergency had reported yesterday, along with, I think by the end of the evening, we had 15 DNR staff, as well as the helicopter. Plus, there was officials from Halifax Fire and RCMP that were managing the evacuation. On site today, we have 20 DNR staff, along with 2 Halifax Fire and Emergency tankers that are providing a water supply for the firefighting effort. And those tankers are being staffed by 5 VFD members. We also still have the helicopter on site there as well, providing support.
Did the rain Sunday night help you out at all?
Oh, absolutely. It couldn't have come sooner, but it was a nice wide band of rain that came across the province. So the fire area received about 4 to 5 millimeters, so significant enough to have an impact and reduce the intensity of the fire. Not enough to put it out, obviously. So yes, it was very welcome for sure.
And no idea yet what caused the fire to start in the first place?
No, the fire origin and cause is currently being investigated, so we don't have anything to share in that regard.
Okay, now people hear the terms contained. You mentioned held, out of control. Can you walk us through what those stages look like?
Sure. So I'll start with out of control. So when a fire's turned out of control, it's growing. It's not responding to suppression efforts, or in some cases, resources aren't on site yet. So that one's out of control. When we start to take some suppression effort, and we see the fires responding, it's starting not to grow, but maybe we don't have a fully secure perimeter around the whole fire. But now we're not expecting it to grow beyond predetermined boundaries, given the current and forecasted conditions. We call that being held. So we're not quite fully contained, but we're not out of control anymore. So that's where we're still at with this one. It's being held, and the next stage of status will be under control. So once the perimeter is fully contained and we're 100% confident no part of that fire is going to has any potential whatsoever under any conditions to grow, we deem that under control. And then basically once the fire is cold to the touch, it's considered fully extinguished. So crews will spend the better part of today and probably could be another day or two after this, getting that fire fully extinguished. So once they get all the hot spots put out, with the water, they'll actually walk and what we call patrol the fire, and they'll use their nose, try to smell for smoke. They'll look for signs of hot spots, and they won't leave the site until they're 100% sure that fire's out.
All right. Well, I know it's a very busy day for you, so we do appreciate you taking some time for us. Thanks very much.
My pleasure. Thanks for reaching out. We do appreciate it.
Coming up, tensions in the Middle East continue to escalate Monday after Iran launched retaliatory strikes on U.S. bases in Qatar and Iraq.
And summer job search, why economists say young Canadians are struggling to find and secure that first job. Welcome back. Iran has launched a missile attack on the U.S. military base in Qatar in retaliation for the American bombing of its nuclear sites.
The attack came shortly after Qatar closed its airspace as a precaution amid threats from Iran. Sam Sampson has the latest from Washington.
What's happened here, man? I don't like that. I don't like it.
From the streets of Doha, citizens watch as missiles fire off into the night. Qatar's defenses intercepting the weapons. This attack was meant for the nearby U.S. military base, Al Udeid, the largest American base in the Middle East. The U.S. president visited the site just last month, addressing the 10,000 troops himself.
We have the strongest military in the world.
Iran says it gave advance warning of the attack to Qatar, reportedly to minimize casualties. There are no reports the attacks killed anyone. Iran's attack was retaliation for the U.S. president's decision to bomb 3 of its nuclear sites, a move Donald Trump initially said was to destroy Iran's work to build a nuclear weapon. But he later muddied the message by writing online, "If the current Iranian regime is unable to make Iran great again, why wouldn't there be a regime change?"
The president was just simply raising a question that I think many people around the world are asking. If the Iranian regime refuses to give up their nuclear program or engage in talks, why shouldn't the Iranian people rise up against this brutal terrorist regime?
The president said if Iran retaliated, it would see a U.S. response with greater force than what was seen on the weekend. But Iran is not backing down, sending a message directly to the White House. The Islamic Republic of Iran, relying on Almighty God and the faithful, proud people of Iran, will under no circumstances leave any aggression against its territorial integrity, sovereignty, or national security unanswered. The world now awaits what's next.
If we get it wrong, we collectively, it could be the end of us all. Will Iran try and provoke the United States by attacking other U.S. targets, thereby getting a U.S. response that is larger, broader, and really looks like a war? Will Muslim nations join with Iran? Will the Russians actually support Iran with enhanced nuclear technologies? What will China do? And of course, the variety of nations I've just mentioned are nuclear powers, and that's where it gets frightening.
Numerous world leaders, including Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, are pushing for peaceful negotiations, while Donald Trump and his administration say this was all about peace. Sam Sampson, CBC News, Washington.
Israel is continuing to attack targets in Iran. The IDF struck access routes to the Fordo nuclear site on Monday. It also struck the notorious Evin prison in an apparent attempt to allow prisoners to escape. Finally, Israel hit a digital billboard that for years has been counting down the days until the promised annihilation of the Jewish state. Chris Brown has more.
Amid international pleas for de-escalation, Israel carried out some of its heaviest attacks yet on Iran's capital. And most were not targets associated with the country's nuclear program, but rather its regime. The headquarters of the Revolutionary Guard was hit, as was Evin prison, notorious as a place where political opponents are tortured.
We'll finish the job. We are fighting with precision to stop. We'll only stop when the goals are fully achieved.
While Israeli officials say the aim of the war is not to replace Iran's Islamic regime, destabilizing the country may be. And so Iran released video of some of its generals who haven't been assassinated meeting with the defense minister, who foreshadowed that a response to the U.S. attacks was coming. Iran also fired more missile salvos again at Israel, triggering an unusually long alert this morning that used fewer missiles but spread them out over the whole country. Where they do make impact, damage is enormous, but casualties have been relatively low as people have followed instructions to use shelters.
My apartment, which was totally destroyed yesterday by a missile who landed under my window. And luckily I wasn't here.
The post-bombing damage assessment of Iran's 3 nuclear sites attacked by the U.S. is continuing, but UN inspectors say they cannot get access to the deeply buried facility at Fordo.
Given the explosive payload utilized and the extreme vibration-sensitive nature of centrifuges, very significant damage is to have occurred.
The IAEA suspects Iran moved its supply of already enriched uranium, but Iran is not telling its inspectors where. Chris Brown, CBC News, Jerusalem.
As the war in the Middle East escalates, many Canadians are leaving Iran and trying to head home. But as Briar Stewart reports, that journey is a challenging one.
This is the Kapaköy border gate in eastern Turkey, and it's one of the few crossings that Iranians can use to get into this country. With the airspace closed, people who want to leave, or even go in for that matter, have to go over a land border. Not only are Iranians coming over here, but also countries like Armenia and Azerbaijan. Now, the Canadian Embassy has a team here in this area on the ground helping Canadians, and that's because there's not a lot of necessarily transportation options out of here. This is a very remote area, and one of the biggest challenges the embassy staff are saying is that in Iran there's been widespread internet outages. You have people that have not been able to connect through their cell phones, so making transportation arrangements has been a very big challenge. So you have embassy staff in the area here, not only at the border, offering people rides to the nearest city, which is Bonn, about 90 kilometers away, but they're offering people help booking lodging or even booking an onward flight. The thing is, because you have so many people in this area, flights are sold out for a couple of days. So some people are actually choosing to get on a bus all the way to Istanbul, which is about a journey of up to 30 hours. Now, as I mentioned, there have been several Canadians that have come out today. There was one family who left from Tehran earlier this week, and then they went to the north and they stayed there for a couple of days. But as things started to really escalate, they decided that now was the time to leave.
Too much attack last night in Tabriz and even this morning, and it was very trouble. Voices and defense system and the bombing in Tabriz, and then here I heard a lot of bombing in Tehran area, and we prefer to move today morning to out of country to come back home in Toronto.
Now, a number of people are also heading back into Iran because they were abroad when this really intensified. There are a number of Iranian students who study in Turkey. You have business people that were out even on vacation. And they're headed back home, even though they know that it's a dangerous situation and there is the potential for it to escalate further. Briar Stewart, CBC News, along the border between Turkey and Iran.
It's been 40 years since Air India Flight 182 exploded off the coast of Ireland after leaving Montreal. All 329 people on board were killed. Officials and family members gathered at memorials across Canada on Monday, including Toronto.
It's really important for you to be here and let your friends and colleagues know about this so we don't forget about this tragedy.
Hundreds of those on board were Canadian citizens. As the flight approached Ireland, a bomb exploded on board, and the subsequent investigation and prosecution of the bombing lasted nearly 20 years, becoming the most expensive in Canadian history. Only one person was convicted in the bombing case. It is considered the worst mass murder in modern Canadian history.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is in Brussels for the signing of a security and defence pact with the EU. Carney also visited a military cemetery where hundreds of Canadian soldiers are buried. It comes ahead of the NATO leaders' summit that begins Tuesday in the Netherlands. Kate McKenna reports.
At a military cemetery in Belgium toured by the Prime Minister, Canada's long-standing relationship with Europe is clear. Nearly 350 Canadian soldiers are buried here. Now Canada has signed a new deal aimed at bringing Canada and Europe even closer.
As the saying goes, hard times reveal true friends.
Today, this is a new era of cooperation, and this will make us both more resilient and more prosperous.
The pact seeks to make it easier and more affordable to buy weapons and ammunition.
And as we build up those resources, we can do those in a way that's complementary and mutually reinforcing.
With the long-term goal of Canadian involvement in a major procurement initiative called Rearm Europe.
This partnership will allow us to strengthen our preparedness faster and better, to invest more and to invest smarter.
Canada's looking to Europe as its closest ally has been less reliable. Mark Carney is still trying to negotiate a new deal with the United States in the middle of a trade war.
The right deal is possible, but it's nothing's assured.
Next up on Carney's Europe trip is the NATO summit, where talk of the Israel-Iran war could overshadow other subjects.
When it comes to NATO's stance on Iran's nuclear program,
allies have long agreed that Iran must not develop a nuclear weapon.
For years, for decades really, Iran has pursued nuclear weapons. Well, Iran has expressed a desire to eliminate the state of Israel. The
main item on NATO's Tuesday agenda will be raising the defense spending target to 5% of a country's GDP. It's a big hike as Canada and other countries struggled to meet the previous target of 2%. Kate McKenna, CBC News, Brussels.
It is another very hot day in central Canada. Much of southern Ontario and Quebec continue to roast under soaring temperatures. There are several heat warnings in place.
Early morning walks, lots of fluids, reading books, and using fans.
Try to get the dog out early. I love it. Yeah, nothing better. It's been a long winter, and we love the heat.
Temperatures reached well into the mid-30s. Tack on the humidity, and it feels more like mid-40s. Toronto is offering more than 500 air-conditioned spaces for residents to cool down. The city handed out thousands of water bottles, and several public pools are open until the heat warnings end. Montreal has public facilities open to help cool down, including pools, fountains, beaches, and air-conditioned libraries. People are encouraged to stay hydrated and be on alert for early signs of heat exhaustion.
The Truth and Reconciliation Commission made dozens of recommendations to address disparities between healthcare services for Indigenous communities and others. Since the Commission's report was released 10 years ago, there's been some improvement in Indigenous healthcare, but much remains to be done. Alison Northcott has more.
In this office is our physiotherapy.
Shirley P. in Barrow Bay helps Indigenous patients access care. This Indigenous health centre is a big part of that.
We have diabetic foot care clinic, we have optometry clinic, clinical psychologist, addictions worker, we have a spiritual healer. It's Inuit, but
services are available in several languages, including Inuktitut and Cree.
The clients can come and smudge anytime they want.
In just a year and a half, the patient base has grown from 150 to more than 600.
We love seeing it more busy because we can see, okay, people start really to trusting us.
10 years ago, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission pointed to troubling gaps in health outcomes between Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal Canadians. 7 of its 94 calls to action focused on health, including funding for existing and new Aboriginal healing centres and to recognize the value of Aboriginal healing practices.
There were gaps in the health system to really understand the need of the Indigenous people.
This family violence prevention coordinator says the clinic aims to overcome mistrust because the healthcare system has harmed many Indigenous people, including her.
Because I'm diabetic and I was explaining that I'm not feeling well, and all what I explained, she just told me, when people like you feel confused and all that, that's because you're drinking. I couldn't believe it.
According to the site Indigenous Watchdog, while some of the health calls to action are in progress, others have stalled and none are complete.
There's been positive things done across the country in different jurisdictions where they're providing funding to try and alleviate some of the issues. Just that what they're doing isn't enough.
Access is a major issue. Once this addictions and trauma treatment centre is complete, people in Nunavut can receive culturally based care without travelling south.
I'm hopeful that once this is up and running, that we have an opportunity to look at being able to build centres in each of Nunavut's regions.
But she says the needs go beyond that too, and there's still work to do. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
It's a tough summer for job seekers, especially young Canadians. Economists say it's one of the worst labour markets for young people in decades. Georgie Smythe explains what's behind the slowdown.
Highlight sort of this section and turn it.
Sho Ritko is getting some help tinkering with their resume, restructuring it, adding certificates, anything that might help them stand out in a very tight jobs market.
It's hard. I have a spreadsheet of all the jobs that I applied to within like a 2-month period, and it was over 80, and I only heard back from 2 of those, and they were both gig jobs, so nothing stable.
Just a few years ago, Canada had a shortage of workers, but now hiring is down. Many economists blame the trade war for fueling uncertainty and say employers are reluctant to bring on new staff. Canada's unemployment rate for 15 to 24-year-olds is more than 14%. That's 1.4% higher than last year and double the national average.
Type in what you want, like part-time, full-time, and then where you're from.
While the job search might be smoother now with the help of online platforms, economists say it hasn't been this slow for young people since 2012.
A lot of people without experience are having difficulties entering into entry-level positions because there's people who have more experience who are trying to apply for those jobs as well.
Employment agencies say there's more competition for summer jobs and casual work, ones teens or young adults often fill.
It's just like getting the first job that's so hard. I've tried to apply for jobs for like a year now, and just like most places like don't get back to me, or they just like say no.
Just a real trying time for Canadians under 25, especially in their teenage years.
And he says it'll continue to be hard as long as the trade war drags on.
Getting the ship turned around for job seekers is just going to require a turnaround in the overall economic situation, which can happen quickly, but we need things to actually change on the ground.
A frustrating start to working life before it's even begun. Georgie Smythe, CBC News, Vancouver.
And an update for you now. The wildfire on Nova Scotia's eastern shore is now considered to be under control. The blaze near Austria Lake now sits at 6 hectares in size. 20 firefighters with the province's Department of Natural Resources will remain on scene for a couple of days to work on hotspots.
The weather update is brought to you by Tourisme Gaspésie. Plan your stay in Gaspésie at tourismegaspésie.com and enjoy extraordinary moments.
All right, can anyone say beach days? I think they're here.
Yes, that's for sure. If you can take the time off and get there, perfect.
Tomorrow's a perfect day. And yes, before we get to the beaches, let's look into the skies and have a look at this. This one taken in Westfall, of course, and have a look at this.
Oh, wow.
Lovely.
Great shot.
A landing, perhaps. It could be takeoff, too, couldn't it?
Yeah. Wingspan.
Yeah.
Joseph with a terrific
action shot
here. Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. Thanks so much, Joseph. Deborah writing me a message just a few minutes ago to Ryan's picks saying, how come the ocean temps weren't in your map? Very good eye, Deborah. They were not. Had a bit of an error today with that. So showing them now because, of course, tomorrow is likely a day where folks are going to want to get to the beach. How about that North Shore?
That's
up
quite
to
something.
14 now, warming up
there.
pretty quickly.
16?
Yeah, not so much there along the Atlantic coastline. It's still a bit cool. But you know what? Some relief for tomorrow along that Atlantic coastline because of those cool ocean temperatures. Those fog patches will retreat back to the coast. It's going to likely take a few hours to do so. And then a beautiful day along the coast if you can get there. Just inland, though, temperatures are going to be high 20s, but will likely be closer to 20 right along the coastline. There are your afternoon dew point projections. So we're north of 20, which means oppressive. And that is going to be the case overnight. Tomorrow night is going to be an uncomfortable sleep. And then we'll see that drier air moving in throughout the day on Wednesday. And Wednesday night will be a much more comfortable sleep. Those temperatures still warm on Wednesday, but yeah, that humidity will be noticeably have dropped by the time we get to the end of the day.
I think we'll be enjoying that. Okay, thanks, Ryan. Well, a record-breaking crowd gathered at Stonehenge in the UK to celebrate the summer solstice over the weekend. Yes, around 25,000 people came to watch the sunrise over the ancient heritage site.
Stonehenge holds spiritual significance. It's believed to date back about 5,000 years, and some of its stones weigh as much as 50 tons.
This was one of the rare times visitors were allowed to walk right up to them.
Very
I got pretty close. That's it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.